Everybody, Josh Brown here, managing editor for Carmel Magazine, and I'm joined today with co-owner Eddie Sahm at Sahm's Ale House in Village of WestClay in Carmel here, brand new. You guys just opened, I believe you said the end of January.
Yeah, end of January. I think about it, my birthday was February 5th, so it's like February 7th or something like that.
Sure.
So yeah.
So not too long, very
No.
new still. Let's just kind of jump into this. I mean, Sahm's, everybody knows all the Carmel restaurant in the area, and obviously Village of WestClay, it's a popular area. Talk about the excitement of kind of being in the Carmel community.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that at the end of the day, what you said at the beginning there was what everyone feels. Everyone knows Sahm's. I don't think that's true. I think that a lot of people do, and a lot of people hold it as like their place. You know, a lot of selection, a great service, friendly people, family owned. So I think Carmel was an exit for us to say, hey, we've never really gone to Carmel.
Right.
And yeah, a lot of Carmel people will come see us in Fishers or in Indianapolis, but what if, we went to them and became more of that neighborhood feel option? And so, Carmel is such a unique place because they put so much of their own money and time and efforts into making this a really unique, vibrant spot that it felt like, we were missing out.
Right.
It almost feels like we kind of jumped on, but that's fine. I think if you jump on, it means something good was happening.
Yeah.
So we were excited to be here. This spot had a couple restaurants in it before, so we had the luxury, I think, of saying where we were. We're located in certain spots. So we like it. We're excited. It's going really well so far.
Yeah. Well, in the Village of WestClay, you can really have that neighborhood feel like you're talking about, because it's
a neighborhood. Yeah,
it's all a neighborhood. It's all surrounding. I mean, how cool is that to really have a chance to be kind of dive right into the community and be just right around the corner?
Yeah.
From tons of residents.
Well, I mean, I think one of the things we all fight for is regulars, right?
Right.
You can't, if you're a customer, you can't be a regular at more than a few spots. I mean, it's kind of hard to do. So, getting regulars is something that you spend a lot of time and effort trying to figure out. This is just here. If you're close by and you have good price points and great staff, clean atmosphere, people like that. They come back. So I think for us the easiest part has just been having people who can walk home and bring their kids in here that live 2 blocks down the way. We don't do reservations, but we have people come in at 5 o'clock with 20 and just eat some lunch, late lunch, early dinner, and hang out. Once the patio opens, I think that's going to be great for people to just get a beer and just look around. It's a beautiful spot. I mean, it really is. So I think it's the biggest asset for us so far is just we're close with the neighborhood.
Right.
There's so many more people in Carmel that could come here and enjoy it, but just having the neighborhood here has been great. So it's a built-in luxury that we're lucky to have.
Yeah. Well, talk a little bit about this restaurant, the look, the feel of it, the menu. Maybe for those who've been to your first location, which is in the Nora area, right?
Yeah.
What's kind of the difference between that area and this one? And is it kind of the same menu, or is it a little bit different options? What's the restaurant called?
The menu's basically the same.
Sure.
And we'll run specials that are based on what our chefs want to make or what's seasonal. So those will change up here and there. But as far as what we do uniquely at each place, a lot of that's going to stem from beer. What our employees are drinking, what our customers are asking for. Sahm's Ale House is really about doing the same Sahm style of service, the same Sahm style of making sure everything is quality, of the highest quality, and with some mindfulness towards why we're doing it. I think that this beer side is a newer thing for us, right? I own a brewery. I'd like to think I got my finger on the pulse of the scene. But at the end of the day, I don't want to just give people my beer. I want to give people a lot of great beer. I think we make great beer, but I think a lot of people do as well. So, this thing is built around eating and drinking, man. Just hanging out. We're not trying to. Don't come in here thinking you're going to get like the fanciest meal in the world. It doesn't mean it's not good, but this is definitely an ale house vibe. It's laid back. It's beer centric. You can wear shorts and a t-shirt. You can wear a suit and you wouldn't be out of place.
Sure.
I mean, it's easy to say that, but I truly think that's kind of the vibe here. Yeah. So you can tell it's a little upscale. We bought a bunch of the wood staves. We have our own construction crew who does all this stuff for us. So we put a lot of time and effort to make it look nice. But it's about being laid back. It's about being, just kind of this casual environment that delivers on a high level every time.
Sure. Well, and what's kind of been the community response since you guys have been open? Obviously, you've been around a little bit, helping with operations and training and everything. What's been the response so far? What's it been like for people coming in and visiting?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. I mean, as far as the response, I think it's easy for people to be excited about. How you doing? It's easy for people to be excited about something new.
Sure.
So the hard part is making sure they're excited about something that lasts, right?
Yeah.
Is it still worth going to? Is it still fun in 4 years? But the response so far has just been excited about a diversity of menu. There's some other really good restaurants in here.
Yep.
Danny Boy Brewing's making their own beers, spirits, and you have Greek's Pizza here. I mean, you have some good places that clearly are built around gathering places and eating and drinking. But I think we have a little bit more selective of a menu. Our menu has more to go off of. There's more drinks. There's more, a little bit more lean towards bartenders with cocktail training. They go through our brewery systems training. So the reception, I think, has just been excited to have this brand new place. This place that's theirs. And we're not trying to be unique to anywhere else besides right here. So right away, I think it's been great. And in the future, I think people know that we're committed towards being in this spot and growing the community.
Right. Well, and obviously being surrounded by the houses, the homes, the residents is large, but you've got all these local businesses around too. So I'm sure you guys stay pretty busy when that lunch hour hits during the week.
Yeah, all the time. And I think that's what this town has done such a great job of doing, is trying to say is not just for the neighborhood. Right. Clearly, the neighborhood is a great place, and they want to be neighborhood centric. But this is for everyone. They want people to come in here and enjoy it. They got beautiful parks around, and there's little ponds, and bench seating everywhere that you can kind of hang out, walk your dog. I mean, they want to be a really important part to Carmel, and I think we do too. So they make those efforts. There's a lot of local businesses. You don't just see big sellout to big companies, which may not happen. But it's unique in that way. So it is exciting, and people are very engaged. I mean, they like to be engaged. They want us to engage them, and not like we have to spend all this money trying to get a command. They're willing to give us a shot, so it's been great.
Yeah, awesome. Well, let's talk a little bit just about kind of the legacy of your family, of the restaurant business. Obviously, Ed started the first restaurant in Fishers, '86. So going on 30 years now, I mean, you guys have had just that steady flow of success, really, in doing this, and a steady track record. For you, what does that mean to you? For that legacy, obviously, you're a huge part of it. But you even talking to me too, so just about how Ed is really leadership-wise is a unique leader in how he leads you guys. So maybe talk a little bit about that.
I think you have to look at mentors in this industry, and Ed Sahm has been a mentor to a lot of people, and that's part of why he's been really successful. Ultimately, there's this you can't have too many people in a restaurant. Everyone's got to make their money. Servers, cooks, manager, owner. You have to respect that balance. What Ed's been really good about is taking people and trying to build them up to the point where he can't build them up anymore, and they get to leave towards something that's better, and not feel like they have to take side steps or backward steps. He leads by example, and he's always really excited to do it. He has a real passion for customer service and in restaurants in general. So, as far as the legacy is concerned, I mean, it's easy enough to try to say things like, coffee cake's been great, and we're known for something like that. And, if you haven't breaded tenderloin in Indiana, I imagine it's probably your most known dish. Doesn't matter where you are. But, ultimately, I think where Sam's has stuck out is we're definitely that we kind of are the epitome of Indiana hospitality as far as I feel like our family ownership, which is that we really do care. We really do try to put customers first, and we really do listen to customer comments, whether they're good or bad. And I think he's really good about that. I mean, I can tell you we've spent nights till 4 in the morning talking about a Yelp review, and not about how much we couldn't stand the person making it, but about we needed to figure out how to make sure that didn't happen again. So he has a unique way of doing that, and I think it's inspiring, not just to me as son, I mean, but to a lot of people. For me, I think that mentorship was trying to figure out how, as an angsty youth, I hated it and thought he was an idiot, and then realizing how it actually was very successful, and not just he's successful because he made money, but why else was he successful? You know, his friendships, his relationships with, you know, his charity, you know, being charitable with his time and not just his money. And I think that's the stuff that I've been trying to implement with my passion towards food and beverage, and my passion towards really just creative outlets. I like to have. I'm the type of person who thinks about 20 million things a day, so I forget about I forget about 19.999 million of them, whatever. You know, it's like I constantly am thinking like that, but I also have to think about why he was successful with those relationships building, you know, that he built and all that. So, and, you know, ultimately what I try to take away from it is that you have to earn your legacy, you know, and these things could fail, and that'd be okay. I wouldn't be super pumped about it, but that's not the legacy. I mean, the legacy is what people take away from what you're doing, you know?
Right.
We can't take these restaurants with us, right? So ultimately it's just about creating those relationships, and I want to be better at it, and I want to have places that allow me to create relationships with me and the customer, with the customers and the customers, with the employees and the customer. You know, I just want there to be this thing that people remember and it lasts. So yeah, I mean, I think that's what I took from him, and what I like my legacy to be is that, you know, I make places that are fun and vibrant, but you go back to them because it's a community, and you know, there's something else there besides just good food or good drink. You know, there's this vibe that if you really want to be a part of something, you can. We're here to invite you in. So, you know, I think he's done that for 30 plus years. I've done it hopefully for about 8, 9. You just got to keep doing it. You know?
Well, and what drew you in overall, right? Because we talked about, you know, sometimes in family businesses, like you said, in your younger days, you think, you know, I can go off and do my own thing. But after college, you kind of got drawn back into this. And it truly is, you know, a family business for you guys. We're talking about your role, your sister's role in the company, and obviously Ed kind of at the helm, you guys. But what drew you in overall, kind of coming back to jump into the family business?
Oh, man. I mean, kind of the Godfather made an offer I couldn't refuse to a degree. And when I left Purdue, I graduated from Purdue. I don't want to say like I left. I did graduate.
Did finish.
Yeah, I did finish somehow. I don't know how they let me. But, you know, I thought about going other places. I'd worked for a few different people. And, you know, ultimately it just came down to this idea that I felt like I was ready to try really hard at something that was my own, and I expressed that to Ed, my dad, and just kind of had said, like, this is what I want to do, not even towards Sam's, just kind of in general. And you know, he was like, well, you know, why don't you take a stab at this? I have a proposition. This is Sam's place. You know, it's doing okay, but it could do better. You know, at that time I lived in Broderpool, and so I was just like, you know, yeah, I'll think on it. And then about a month later, I took the job. You know, and I think that was Ed showing that leadership again. I think he understood where I was at. He understood, you know, how passionate I was, and he wanted to give me a project that made a lot of sense for me. And I'll tell you what, man, you know, I was naive, and I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And I think to a degree that was really good. It helped me out. It really did help me out. So just kind of going all in and just not really caring what the outcome was. Just I had a passion, and I was going to pursue it. And then that shows you the leadership of Ed to kind of let me have that, but also like create the parameters of like, you know, okay, how far can you push it before I step in? Like how far I kind of let it dip before I help step in. And, you know, so I try to be that for my managers and for the people who work for me. I try to be flexible, but also like when do I have to step in to keep you in line? When do I have to step in from you bottoming out? You know, it's like, you know, there's that perfect playing ground. So ultimately what drew me in was I had a lot of respect for my dad and what he did, and that's part of the reason I was passionate. And then the other side of it was, I mean, I wanted to work for myself. I was bad at school. I got good grades, but when I say bad, I mean like I did not listen to my teachers, and like I did not do my homework, and I did not care. Like, you know, and like you shouldn't be like that in school. And I just got to this point that was like, man, like I'm best when I'm doing something that I want to do. Like when I'm painting something, I'm drawing something, I'm going to a you know, hang out with my buddies in their bands, listen to music, and, you know, coming up with just stupid games in the backyard that we could play. And I was always my best when it was being creative and just trying to have a good time. And so, you know, it made sense for me just to be at a place where all it was about was winning new guests over and having a good shift every day, and you know, eventually creating new food dishes and drinks that I was, you know, working on. But it started with just this passion for doing something new every day, and restaurants provide you the opportunity.
Right. Well, we've talked about too how in this business, I mean, it's a day-to-day success, right? I mean,
every day, yeah.
And so, when you jumped in, when you got started, you talked about kind of being naive and you learn, you mature, you grow. What's some of the biggest lessons you think you've learned maybe 8 years ago to today?
Yeah.
Just the change and shift in your day-to-day with the restaurant business.
I'd say the biggest thing that I've learned is that every day begins and ends. And that sounds trivial, but it's, I think, very important to remember that, like, there's a start and a finish to every shift.
Right.
And I used to just never let shifts finish. I used to just drag them home with me. And man, that one server who did this, I swear, it's like I needed to learn that, like, it begins and then it ends. And inside of that, everything has to get done. But as soon as it's done, it has to be done.
Right.
Because you got to get ready for the next start. And so, once I started to learn that, like, I should never let my employees take work home with them. That's something that is me, letting them down. So I worked really hard at having this, I have a passion for making sure my employees are happy in the sense of, do you like coming to work? Not is this your job forever? Not is this, I don't want to ride them with guilt. I want to ride them with expectations. And this is how you be good at your job. And this is how you don't take work home with you. This is what we need to get done in this beginning and this end. So I think that's the thing that I tell every person I kind of counsel or talk to now, or at least try to help out if they reach out, is just like, man, you gotta learn really fast that your employees are what make you great.
Right.
Your customers are what make you successful. And so, you got to treat your employees with just tons of respect. And if they're not the perfect fit, it's up for you to decide that and set the parameters for what makes them successful. So, my naivety was that I just did it all the time. I just made it work, and I just worked as hard as I could, and I would work 120 hours if I had to. I'd go home and sleep from 3 to 6 in the morning, and then I'd go back at it. And I was 22, and I didn't get hungover, and I was, always in a great mood, and I was ready to go. So, now when you're 31, it's like, okay, well, I can't do that. You want to have a family, you can't do that.
Right.
You want to have work-life balance, you can't do that. So I shouldn't expect it of other people either. Right. So I think once I learned that and started to work towards that goal in this industry, life's been easier. I feel like I've been able to hire and retain better people. And we're always looking to hire people. If they're good and have a passion for this business and a passion for customer service, then we're always excited to bring those people on, and hopefully we provide something different from other places.
Awesome. Yeah, we're kind of just wrapping up. People who haven't been out here yet to Sahm's Ale House in Village of WestClay, maybe tell them why they should stop out, and maybe recommend your favorite dish or two.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Yeah, one, come out here, please. That'd be great. No, I think that the reason to come here is that we're just excited to be here. I think there's a little bit of a vibe going on here that is exciting. There's a buzz. Just as far as people have a place to go, it's relaxed. We don't care to stay here for 4 hours. Whatever. Come in, hang out, drink, eat with us. It's busy. Don't do reservations though, but it's been very busy, man, and I think that I want people to see it. Like, this is a great little Carmel spot. It's family owned. Our staff here is great. I mean, greet you at the door. They're hustling. We got some really good cooks, really good chefs back there. We're ready to release a summer menu. So
if we ever get rid of snow.
If we ever get rid of snow,
Snow April.
at least this is the pretty snow. I mean, it could be gross.
It could be worse.
Blake, I think that looks beautiful.
Oh,
look, Chef Blake just bringing me
there.
some different stuff out here. Oh man,
Let's zoom in on that. Oh my goodness.
Thanks, Blake.
Yes, sir. So that's the Impossible Burger.
That's the Impossible Burger. Great, yeah.
The Impossible
That's awesome.
Burger.
Yeah, so this is actually something we can substitute in for all of our burgers. So the Impossible Burger is actually the patty, and it's an all vegan patty that they have created that eats like meat.
Okay.
Kind of has a similar taste, but a similar texture, which is really hard to achieve coming from someone who has tried forever to make a black bean burger like that. So we actually substituted that in. It's kind of cool that you brought that out. Something new that we just added. But anyways, you can see we got a lot of food. I mean, from a beer point of view, I suggest that you drink Big Lug beer. I think we're making really good beers right now.
Sure.
A really high level of consistency, freshness. We're moving through a lot of beer, which means it's fresh beer. The Christopherson keg I just actually switched over today, so fresh batch of Christopherson. But yeah, man, I think ultimately we want to be a part of the community, and to do that, it takes community coming in. We want to see people here. We want to work with different charities. We want to work with different, the schools that are around here. We got tons of families who are active and doing things, which is great because that means we're going to be active and doing things. So we're excited to be here and making good food, and hopefully that translates. So. Yeah, man, we're excited. I don't know what else to say besides that. It's a restaurant. It's not. We didn't cure cancer yet. So for now, all you can really do is eat and drink. But
well, this looks great. And as soon as you brought it out, my stomach started growling.
Awesome.
So we've got Brian, our photographer here. He's going to knock out some photos. So we'll post some teaser photos and things later. For now, check out this video live on Carmel Magazine Facebook page. And thanks again, Eddie, for joining us.
Thank you.
You guys come out and check out Sam's Ale House in Village of WestClay. Come in and visit them and let them know that you saw the Carmel Magazine video. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.